Chapter 9 begins our look at specific theoretical premises or therapeutic focuses of family therapy. And so Chapter 9 specifically goes into psychodynamic approaches. Some of the objectives are discussing the major theorists, premises, techniques, roles of the therapist, processes, and outcomes of psychodynamic family therapy, and describing the unique aspects of psychodynamic family therapy. Some of the major theorists include Nathan Ackerman, Ivan Bosnar-Nagy, James Frimo, Theodore Litz, Norman Paul, Donald Williamson, Robin Skinner, and Lyman Wynn. Premises of the theory. They're based on the classic work of Sigmund Freud and the psychoanalytic approach to therapy. Resolving conflict occurs through two actions: strengthening defenses against a conflicted wish, and relaxing defenses to permit some gratification. Understanding one's unconscious by taking into account context, and interlocking pathology, an unconscious process that takes place between family members and keeps them together. Object relations theory. It's the bridge between classical Freudian theory and family therapy. The object is something that is loved, usually a person. Object relations is a relationship between two people that includes deep emotional attachments. It can exist in the outer world or in the unconscious inner world, and it can explain relationships across generations. Splitting. This is the unconscious procedure in which object representations are perceived as all good or all bad. It allows people to control their anxiety in objects by making them predictable. This provides a way for psychodynamic clinicians to explain reasons for marital choices and family interaction patterns. Stresses the value of working with the unconscious. Some of the treatment techniques include transference, underlying issues, dream and daydream analysis, confrontation, focusing on strengths, life history, complementarity, and interpretation. Transference, the projection of feelings, attitudes, or desires onto a significant other, such as a therapist. Employed in individual analysis to help clients work through their feelings by viewing the therapist as a significant other with whom relationships are unresolved. Utilized in family therapy to understand dominant feelings within a family unit and delineate what emotions are being directed toward which people. Underlying individual issues need to be addressed to help couples escape their pathological dance. These issues revolve around basic human concerns such as the following: hopes for love, appreciation, and understanding; fears and experiences of disapproval, abandonment, domination, incompetence, and other forms of emotional distress. The objective of daydream and dream analysis is to analyze what needs within the family are not being met. It may be quite useful for some families in helping them see areas that need attention. This can be problematic and difficult to handle if the number of family members participating is large. Divergent subject experiences. Person-specific meanings of events that evoke conflict between partners. Often these meanings are incompletely known to the people themselves or are assumed to be universal. People label what is happening in the environments according to their backgrounds, much of which is out of their conscious awareness. Projective identification, a form of interpersonal defense whereby people recruit others to help them tolerate their own painful intrapsychic states of mind. Interpersonalized identification starts as an intrapersonal conflict. For example, I want to buy a new car, but I should save my money. It's played out interpersonally. Example, I want a new car, but my wife thinks we should save our money. So again, intrapersonal within, interpersonal thinking about between individuals. Externalization of a disturbing self-evaluation. For example, I worry I'm too needy turns to he won't give me what I deserve. So again, externalizing something rather than understanding the intrapersonal aspects. Confrontation. The therapist points out to families how their behaviors contradict or conflict with their expressed wishes. The idea behind confrontation is to help family members become more aware of what they are doing and to change their strategies for coping and becoming functional. Focusing on strengths. Psychodynamic therapists can help family members change the focus from familial weaknesses to family strengths by emphasizing strengths. Structured activities can be designed to promote cooperation and break dysfunctional patterns of behaving by focusing on strengths. Life history. By taking and assessing a family's life history, psychodynamic family therapists can report present and past patterns of interactions within the family. This process affirms to family members that they are valued and accepted regardless of their backgrounds. Taking a family life history promotes trust in the therapist and provides the family members with insight. Complementarity. Complementarity is the degree of harmony in the meshing of family roles. A task of the therapist is to help family members provide and receive satisfaction from their relationships. This may mean asking members what they want and what they are willing to do in return. Interpretation involves bringing unconscious conflicts between family members into consciousness. This takes the covert nature out of the discord and allows family therapy to progress in a more straightforward way by increasing the insight of family members into how the past is continuing to affect the present. Family members can use this insight to solve its present conflicts effectively without being weighed down by the past. The role of the therapist, a teacher. Therapists help family members understand the influences in their past, especially unconscious ones that have an impact on them now. Good enough mother or good enough parent. The therapist may nurture the family members by providing encouraging behaviors that were absent at earlier developmental stages. Catalyst moves into the living space of the family and stirs of interactions. Process and outcome. The process: free family members of unconscious restrictions, help family members interact with one another as a whole on the basis of current realities rather than past unconscious images, and the outcomes: the differentiation of self and crisis resolution or symptom reduction. Defense mechanisms such as repression, denial, regression, projection, rationalization, reaction formation, and displacement may play a role. Comparison with other theories: linearity, focusing on cause and effect interactions, expense and time commitments potentially of this type of therapeutic approach. Intellectual ability must be at a certain level oftentimes to engage in this type of approach, and empirical research is lacking somewhat in this approach as compared to other theoretical premises. And so once again, different psychodynamic approaches as based on object relations and is based on some of these unconscious forces are helpful in the understanding of the family from this particular perspective.